Hello friends, welcome to our channel Contemporary Literary Review India. In this interview, I'm in conversation with the author Perebo Adumo, who has recently brought out a book titled Master You. Perebo Adumo is a thought-provoking writer and speaker, and a sought-after business and leadership coach with some established brands as part of his portfolio of brain businesses. His book, Master You, is a self-help book with the ability to curb procrastination and increase personal productivity. It brings an individual to the point of self-mastery and purpose of fulfillment. Before I move ahead, please subscribe to our channel and press the like and bell icons. Hello, welcome Perebo. How are you?
Oh, I'm very fine, and Mr. Alam, nice meeting you.
Okay. So, how do you pronounce your name?
Okay, it's a native name in Nigeria. Ijo to be precise. It's pronounced Perebo.
Okay,
Yes.
nice. So, please, would you prefer to introduce yourself to our audience?
Okay. My name is Perebo Adumo. I am a Nigerian and also an author. I'm a writer, also a publisher. Um, I'm the writer of the book Master You, which is a book that is geared towards getting people to gain mastery of themselves and also get mastery of their goals. Also, the founder of a writing community, Writers Well, that is geared towards um, motivating writers and getting them to be the best of themselves. So there are always classes that has to do with building up their writing skills and also getting them to their audience.
Okay, that's nice. So, can you tell me something about your book, Master You? So, that is a self-help book, right?
Yes, it is.
So, can you share some insights from that book?
Okay, if there's one thing that actually makes people not to achieve their goals, if there's one thing that um people from getting to their expected, their expected goals. It has to do with procrastination, and procrastination is not one thing that is solved by trying to become by trying to do more. It's something that can be eradicated if one can only master themselves, because the ability to know yourself, know your kind of person, knows what suits you. um it will help you so much in planning yourself. And even though you don't do everything everybody does, even though you don't work the same time everybody does, with the right knowledge about yourself, you'll be able to kill procrastination, or should I say limit procrastination to its barest minimum. So the
Okay,
book is majorly about helping people um, kill that, or should I say, limit
hmm.
their ability to procrastinate. Most times, I like coming from this angle. We we always write many goals that we really want to achieve every year. It's probably the same thing we do every year. It's a new year, and we're writing, this year I want to buy a car. This year I want to get married. This year I want to do this. This year I want to make more money. But guess what? We never get to achieve them.
Okay,
Why? Oh, in fact, we actually try so much to achieve them in the first 1 month, but after then we lose zeal. So beyond just procrastination, there's something that one thing the book helps you to do is it helps you to plan yourself.
hmm.
Most times we write our goals for the year, but we never get to break it down to the goals for each month or the goals for each day. So peradventure, I'm saying I want to make $50,000 this year. If I can break it down to 12 months, let's say 50,000 divided by 50,000 divided by 12, it leaves me with 4,000 with a fraction. So it means that I should be making $4,000 plus every month for me to achieve what I'm to achieve in the year. And that means
True.
I have to break it down to daily goals. So if each month has 30 days, presuming 4,000 plus, or let me assume 5,000 divided by 30, it tells me what I'm to make every day. So if I'm not making this by the first day of the month, I already know I'm having issues. So if I don't make it today, I have to now make extra the next day. So if I can meet up my just the little fractions every day, I'll meet up my plan for the year. So
Correct. So if that is the case, then it would be exciting that you can share 5 takeaways directly from your book.
okay, 5 takeaways. One of the thing is I love the part of self-mastery. Now, self-mastery has a whole lot to do with getting to master myself, getting to know myself. And that comes a lot from knowing my temperament. You may wonder, how does this relate? My gaining mastery of myself, I must know who I am. So, am I a melancholy? Am I a sanguine? Am I a choleric? Am I a phlegmatic? If I can know these 4 things, now being a phlegmatic for myself, I realized that I was majorly a phlegmatic. I think that was what prompted me to even to think towards self-mastery. As a phlegmatic, I am prone to get relaxed over things. I'm prone to watch things happen. That's one of my flaws. Yes, I have my strength, but I noticed that this is a flaw, and there are many also with these flaws. So what do? I found a way to solve my flaws, and in solving mine, I'm able to solve others alongside. That's one takeaway. Another thing is, like I said, the part about getting to break down our goals to tiny bits. If you can break down your goals to tiny bits, it is achievable.
True.
Unlike wake up this morning, or you wake up this year, I want to achieve a whole lot. What is the a whole lot? You know, then the thought, the takeaway, I would say, it has to do with killing or curbing some attitudes, even as I'm achieving my goals. So let's say I have the attitude of I have some attitude I don't like. I beyond you can actually be doing the much you can, but some attitude can actually retrace you from where what you want to achieve. So let's say, present, so one of the attitudes that you get downcasted so easily. So while I did not achieve the goals the first day, the second day, I was like, what the hell? Let me just leave it. That's a normal thing. But with getting to know that, hey, this is my flaw. So I get to work on these flaws even as I try to achieve my goals. So the third takeaway is that you should be able to. The third takeaway from the book is that you'll be able to work on your flaws. So there's a section that helps you to check your flaws. That you can actually check, how far did I do today? How far did I do yesterday? Now, by the time you're able to check yourself daily, you find yourself letting go of some flaws. Now, the fourth takeaway I would say has to do with our goals. Most times we set goals, but our goals are not smart. I think we've heard so much about smart goals, where S means simple. They must be simple enough that if somebody picks it and read, they can really understand what I'm trying to say. But beyond being simple, it should be measurable. So it means that there has to be something to check if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So imagine somebody says, this month, I want to make a lot of money. And someone else says, this month, I want to make $10,000. Both are goals, but one is measurable, $10,000. The other one is not measurable. So if the person makes $100, I say, well, at least I made something. So there's really no pressure. Why? Because there's nothing definite. Okay, so A is also achievable. For my goals to be achievable, I will need to actually tell myself the truth. Let me assume I'm a trader. I'm into forex, and I've never made $500 before. I've made $30, I've made $50, I've made $100. I need to
Mm.
be able to tell myself the truth that what is achievable for me. I can't just break the hold of making $50 to jump to $500. There
Mm.
has to be a progression. So what is achievable for me? If I've been making $30 and $50, I could decide to go a bit to $70, $90, $100, something within that range. So that's achievable. Sometimes people make goals and they add other people to the factors. For example, you're expecting to get a sum of money from somebody else. It's not an achievable thing for you. Why? It's not in your hands. It has to depend on somebody else. But if it's something that you're directly involved, yes, you can make such claims. But something that
Okay.
you are only hoping that somebody gives to you, well, you can't really be planning your money on somebody's purse. Yeah, that's so. Then R is realistic. Every goal should be realistic. Is it realistic enough to you? Is it real enough? How real is it to you? When you make goals that are real to you, you can feel it, you can hold it. But
Right.
when you make goals that are not real enough,
Mm.
you've not visualized it enough to see. Yes, this is my own ideology about being realistic. I must be able to feel it enough. I must be able to see it. So sometimes when I want to do some certain things, I just sit back and I imagine what it will be like to achieve that thing. I imagine the feeling of having it. And then
Mm.
there's something that spurs me to move on because I've seen it in my heart. Yeah, I am a Christian, and if there's one thing we get from the Bible is you should be able to see. Something God told Abraham in the Bible. He said, as far as your eyes can see. It was not necessarily his physical eyes, but it has a lot to do with his mind. What can you see? So Abraham still did not understand. God had to take him outside. Okay, come, count the stars. I think it's probably in every it's a story that we can find even in the Quran. We can find it in many of the religions. So I think it's something that is relatable to everybody. So he said, go ahead and count the stars. He was counting one, two, three. He came to a point I think he could not count, and God said, okay, now you
Mm.
understand what I'm trying to say. You get
Okay.
so it should be realistic. Then T should be time bound. So any goal that has no time attached to it is probably not achievable. It's probably not actually a smart goal. So let me use the same scenario I used while back. I want to make $10,000. That's a goal. Is beyond just I want to make money.
Mm.
But when I say I want to make $10,000 in 1 month, I want to make $10,000 in 2 months. Now there's a time attached to it. There's a time frame, and it gives my head something to work with. So I'm now streamlined to achieving that goal to meet a specific time. So the goals must be smart. It must be S simple, M measurable, A achievable, R realistic, and T time bound. Then the last of it, which was probably the first thing I talked about in the book. It had a whole lot to do with purpose. Don't worry, I decided to share it last. Um, we can do many things if you actually have purpose attached to it. Purpose is the reason why you do what you do. Purpose is the reason why you really want to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So a man without purpose really has no ambition. A man without purpose really has nothing to look forward to. So I was in a class and we're all asked, what is purpose? Many people said many things about purpose, but I said one thing. Purpose is that thing that keeps you awake at night, even when others are sleeping. Because if a man that has purpose, he won't sleep early, not because he wants to keep himself from sleeping, but because he has a whole lot to think about as regards achieving his purpose. He has a whole lot to plan. So um a great philosopher said, an unexamined life is not worth living. So what that means is what am I examining my life with? For example, no, it's not just about examining my life. There must be something I'm linking it to. So I'm checking what have I done to what am I supposed to have done. You know, I was speaking with my boss earlier today, and he said something. He said, whatever we have achieved is not as much as what we should have achieved. The people we have reached is not comparable to the people we could have reached. So I could be okay with 500 persons knows me on Facebook. I could be okay with at least I make $5,000 every day. I could be okay with at least I have a level of influence. But when I check how much should I have gotten by now? How much influence am I ought to have built by now? It
Okay.
now gives me a stare that
Mm,
because I do have achieved something, but there's something more, and that's
mm,
purpose. Purpose tells you that there's something higher than where you are. There's something bigger than who you are right now. So you're not comfortable with your current state, and you will not get to sink in mediocrity. So I think those are the five points I would say.
okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. Great. So, do you
Thank you.
have any copy of your book right now with you?
Okay, I don't have one with me. They're all soft copies, but I actually print hard copies on demand.
Okay. 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 So, what is the response from market?
The response from the market. Okay, from the persons that I've gotten to read the book, if there's one major thing I've one major review I've received is that I've been able to get my life to where I really want it to be.
Mm,
So it's not so much about okay. The major thing that has helped people to do is called procrastination. The major thing that has helped people to do is get better in being themselves,
mm.
not being somebody else, being
Right.
themselves.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. So, obviously, for writing a book, you might have read books, right? So,
Yes.
which writers actually do you read more often, or which writers you like?
The major person that have been an influence to me as regards writing, beyond just writing, but actually being a better person. It's it started with just one of his books I read, Why You Act the Way You Do, by and that's Tim LaHaye. Tim LaHaye actually broke down a lot that brought me back to reality. I think I read that as far back as 2009, 2010. And till now, his books have always been, they've always been something to go back to. You know, then he also wrote another book, Spirit, Control, Temperament. Those are two of his major books that I go back to once in a while. Then um Then okay, then what's his name? Robert Kiyosaki, sorry. Yeah, he wrote a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That has to do with as regards finance. He's a major influence as regards finance for me.
Mm,
Because his books breaks down a lot around finance and sometimes it breaks the usual and the conventional way we do things as regards mastering our finance and getting better even in when it comes to earning more.
okay, okay, okay. So currently, what books you are actually referring to or reading?
Yeah, The Psychology of Money.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay, I have a copy here. Yeah, here is it. The Psychology of Money by Morgan
right,
Housel.
right,
Yes.
right.
Now,
Okay.
well, no matter how much influence you have, I always tell people, okay, anointing without money is annoyance. Meaning, no matter the influence you have on people, no matter how much you do, hey,
Mm, mm.
money is a factor. That's just it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you plan to write any new book now?
Yes, I'm actually on two at the moment. I'm writing two at the moment. One is my side chick. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you know what side chick is. It's a term used in Nigeria.
Okay.
it's like, let's say someone who is married and has a girlfriend outside or a mistress outside, they usually call side chick, So the title of the book is My Side Chick. So why
Okay.
the other the other has to do with parenting. I'm someone who is passionate about parenting. I'm passionate about getting the younger generations,
Mm,
to who they, to be who they're supposed to be, and not be influenced by the social media and many other things.
mm,
So the title of that book is Get Lost Mom. Get Lost Mom. So specifically, I used mom, even though it had to do with parents. It had to do with mom because most times you find out that most children don't like their mom because they're majorly the ones that do the correcting. They're usually
okay.
the ones that with the children. So they really want to be away from their mom. They really want to be away from their dad. So the goal is not necessarily for the teenager, even though he's talking about teenagehood, is for the fathers and for the mothers to teach them how to navigate the stage of teenagehood, because that's probably the stage where they really don't get to know their children. Permit me to say this: there are four stages of parenting. Um, okay, let me say there are three stages of parenting. We have the oracle stage. In that oracle phase is the part where children love their parents and parents love their children. At that phase, if you tell the child, don't do this, okay, mom, okay, dad, and that's it. And parents love this stage a lot. But the bad thing is it doesn't last long. So you come to a stage where you tell the child, Junior, don't do this. He said, Mommy, why? Daddy, why? I want to do it. It looks like they are questioning your authority. But at that time, is not the time to become so hard on them. It's time to change your parenting tactics. So, okay, let me just go a little back um, to the oracle. The oracle is God. The oracle is the oracle is never wrong. The oracle is everything that the child wants to be. So that's why the children trust their parents totally. So they make trouble outside, and then when they see their dad or their mom, there's confidence. Why? Hey, you can't touch me. My dad is here. My mom is here. So that's one thing about them. They feel that their father or their mother is everything in the world. But the time comes where they grow and they begin to question this same oracle. They begin to question their authorities. And this is the time where you change, not being an oracle any longer, but becoming a ruler. So as a ruler, you no longer use force. You now arm the child with four things: the short-term consequences, the short-term gain, the long-term consequences, and the long-term gain. So when I'm trying to tell my child, please, I don't want you to be involved in relationship for now. Why? The short-term gain is that, hey, you will feel like a big boy. You will feel like everything, you have all the girls around you. That's a short-term gain. But the short-term consequences, if you don't indulge in it, is that you're being called hey, you're a small boy. You don't even know what it's like to be a man, But what is the long-term gain? The long-term gain of the child not going ahead relationship now is that the child doesn't really get to have heartbreaks, doesn't get to become promiscuous, and
mm.
have probably a better marriage. But what's the long-term consequences if the child had gone ahead with relationship at the early age? We can actually see that happen a lot. We now have a lot of failed marriages. Why? A lot went wrong during their childhood. A lot went wrong with the ideologies they built after having a whole lot of heartbreaks. So that's what that book is probably about. And it's going to be an interesting book to read.
Okay. Nice talking with you. Now we are reaching to the conclusion of this interview. So do you have anything special for your audience?
If there's one thing I would say is you can become a better version of yourself if only you kill procrastination. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Thank you. Thanks for giving time to us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Please help me pronounce your name. Kushid, right?
Right.
Did I get it? Yeah. Thank you very
You
much.
got it right. Okay.